Hey kids, and welcome to the show. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about something I really enjoy talking about, and that's prepping. Yesterday I did a video and we talked about getting ready for the zombie apocalypse and building your team. That was more of a team building exercise, but in the comments, someone asked about to go into their bug out bag a little bit more. So I'm going to talk about a bug out bag and what I think is important in a bug out bag. And I really hope that you will comment if I miss something, because we're all learning and this is an opportunity for us to build. So this is my bug out bag and I'm going to go through it. It's going to take a minute. I have 11 items on my bug out bag. So I don't know, I might put some graphics up and let you guys see it, but here we go. Number one for your bug out bag. This is super important. Get a quality bag. Don't skimp. I don't have a recommendation for brands or anything like that, but find yourself a good, solid canvas bag that you can waterproof. Okay, so you're gonna get yourself some stuff. If you can find a waterproof bag, that's even better. But just get yourself a good, solid canvas bag with lots of pockets. You don't want the pockets, you don't want there to be so many pockets that there's no room left in the bag. So several pockets, and you can decide how that's going to look. Everybody's going to be different. The military Alice packs that I used to use had 3 pockets. So just to give you a starting point. So a quality bag, one that you can make waterproof. And one of the things we did was we had a waterproof bag that went inside of our bag. So you can do that too, but that waterproof bag takes up space, even though you think it's not that much. Number 2, a water bottle. And that can be anything. It can be a good quality reusable one. It could just be one you find in the gutter. So to go with that water bottle, I recommend a purification straw. So you see these at the big box stores. They're about 20 bucks each. They're about that long. Here's a picture. And you can order one of these, keep it in your bag. Then you can just walk up to any river or water source and drink. So no, it's a really good thing to have in your bag. You don't have to worry about a lot of things. It's a good way to purify drinking water. And in a really crazy situation, that's a good option. So water purification straw, there's sanitation tabs that will help you clean things. You can carry a lot of those instead of carrying bleach and stuff. And coffee filters, and I don't recommend just doing this, but when things get really bad, you can just strain some river water through a coffee filter and boil that water and pour it into something and let it cool off, and you have some safe drinking water. So in the event that things are really bad, the coffee filters are good to have. And they provide a few other really cool things along the way. They don't take up a lot of space. Good item to have with you. Okay, food. So, excuse me. So we talked about your number 1, your bag. Number 2, water. Number 3, food. In your bug out bag, you don't need to survive for a long time. I talk about having 3 weeks ready if you're bugging in. For your bug out, you're just taking off. Okay, you want to not carry so much with you, because the more you carry, the more energy you exert. So keep it to a minimum. So number 3 is MREs. So each bug out bag should have enough MREs for the person carrying the bug out bag. So each person should have 2 MREs. And an MRE is a meal ready to eat. And when I say 2, I'm talking like the military grade ones that are like 2,000 calories a day, because 2 will give you 2 days of sustenance. So 2 MREs in your bag, plus you're limited on space. If you have a small child or something, get them same thing. Get them a bug out bag. It doesn't need to be as big, but put a couple MREs in there for them, because if you have to carry 2 bags, it's a lot easier to carry 2 bags than to try to stuff all the extra stuff in yours. So every member of your family should have their own bag. Again, it's a lot easier to pick up somebody else's bag that can't carry it themselves than it is to try to get all their stuff in your bag. Okay. Plus, they don't need all the stuff you need. So number 4, a compass, a map, and a pencil and paper. Okay. This also goes into, if you have a compass and you don't know how to use it, it doesn't do any good. If you have a map and you don't know how to use it, it doesn't do any good. Pencil and paper, you definitely want pencil and paper. You know, your cell phone might not have notes on it. Your cell phone might not even work. So, pencil and paper. And I say pencil, not pen, because pens leak, pens break. Pencils break too, but you can take your knife out, which is going to be on you, and that's later down the line, and you can sharpen it. So, pencil and paper, very important when you're on the road and you're trying to find things out. You have to write down addresses. You need to write down notes. You need to, say, oh, I was here, I was there. Very important to have pencil and paper. Okay, number 5. Here's your clothing. Okay, make sure you're wearing good quality clothes when you leave. Get yourself some good, I don't like doing brand names, but those big, thick mechanic pants. Those are really good. Or some military grade pants. They don't have to be camouflage and all that. Just a good quality pant that you can walk through the woods with, and not have to worry about getting your legs all tore up. We're not talking about combat. We're just talking about moving from point A to point B, getting someplace safe, right? So, nice, long, comfortable pants. And whether it's summertime or not, good boots, you're going to be wearing those. So, what's in your bag? A hoodie. Doesn't matter what the weather is. It can be really super hot outside. It can be, super cold. Have a hoodie in your bag. And hoodies do more than just, you can use a hoodie for more than just putting it on as a shirt. You can use it as a blanket, especially for smaller kids. You can wrap stuff in it. You can use it to carry stuff. There's a whole lot of things you can do with a hoodie. So make sure you get a good quality hoodie, throw it in there. 2 t-shirts, especially if you're like a person like me that likes to sweat a lot. You want to be able to change your t-shirts just to keep sanitation up. You want to be able to wash a shirt while you're wearing another shirt. Hopefully you're not gone for that long and you won't have to do it. Bring a couple pair of underwear, a couple pair of socks. So, you need to change those. And a poncho. A good poncho, and I'm not talking like one that Martha Stewart would wear or one of those people, but a good poncho is going to be from head and it's going to come all the way down to your toe. It's going to be made out of a really good material. And the reason you want a poncho is because if it rains, you can just cover your entire body. You can also use it as a shelter, and you can tie ends to trees and you can use it as a shelter. You can use the hood to collect water. Poncho is really good to have, which means you're going to need to throw some 550 cord or some good solid rope in there that doesn't take up a lot of space. Okay, so, and then that's going to be in with your tools. We haven't gotten there yet. All right, number 6, we're going to do shoe wear. So you need to be wearing good quality boots. So I don't have a pair, I'm wearing a pair, but you need to have some good soles, good ankle support, leather, waterproof, good pair of boots. But inside your bag, you want to have the thinnest, crappiest pair of flip-flops that you can get. And you want flip-flops because if you take a shower in some shady places, you don't want to get athlete's foot. You need flip-flops because if a boot lace breaks, you need to be able to wear a shoe that you can actually wear. Flip-flops can also be used as a barter item later on. I'm going to talk about that. So that's your, we're not going to talk about barters today. We're just talking about your bag. But a flip-flop is a barter item. Somebody doesn't have shoes would appreciate flip-flops. Anyway, here we go. Number 8. Number 6. Fire starter. Now, don't go to, the big outdoor stores and say, I need some flint and I need some, you're not sparking. Don't do it. So many people will buy these magnesium things and have no idea how to use them. And then we'll just go camping, they'll throw some lighter fluid down and get going. Well, magnesium works only if you practice with it. So if you want to practice with it, go ahead, get yourself some of that, throw it in a bag. But if you don't know how to use it, it's just a waste of space. So get yourself a cheap little Bic lighter. And I hate using brand names, but they're a good quality lighter. And just throw it in your bag. Doesn't take up a lot of space. You don't have to worry about it. It's going to work 9 times out of 10. Some matches are always good, but matches are really hard to light. And they go out and they're frustrating. And if it's wet and it's raining, just get a lighter. Don't overthink it. Just have yourself a lighter in there. You are not trying to be like, you're not trying to win Survivor. You're just trying to survive, okay? And there's two different things there. All right, so, just basic lighter. Number 8, tools. This is the fun one because this covers a lot of different things and what I think are important tools. Number 1, I have an E-tool. We call it an E-tool in the Army. It's an entrenching tool. It folds up. You can use it as a hammer. You can use it to pound stakes. You can use it to dig a foxhole. You can do a lot of things with it. And it doesn't take up a lot of space. You can also clip it to the outside of your bag so it doesn't take up any space on the inside. So, good tool to have. If you don't have room on the inside, you can clip it to the outside. All right? You need a weapon. And that can differ from person to person. A weapon can be anything. That E-tool I just talked about is a weapon. But if you can carry a firearm, firearms are good to have with you when you're bugging out, because if you run across a bear in the woods and you have an E-tool and you have a pistol, you really want to go for the pistol because a bear will jack you up. So anyway, you need to have a weapon that's going to protect you from a bear. And by bear, you know what I mean. Anyway, so E-tool, weapon, multi-tool. You can have, I always like the Gerber, and there's the Leathermans. There's a bunch of different ones, but multi-tools are super, super important. I like this one because you can use it with one hand, and it's got needle nose pliers. So I always recommend getting something with the smaller tips on them. And then there's a knife in there. There's some screwdrivers and all that stuff. I like this particular one. I could hang off of something. It's a strong one, but Leatherman makes a good brand. It doesn't matter what brand. Get yourself a multi-tool. The only thing I recommend, get yourself those needle tips, because when you're fishing or whatever, those come in handy. And the square ones, I've had several different tools. I like the needle tips, so that's my recommendation there. That has a knife in it, but I always recommend have a knife in your pocket, and then have your meds, your medications. Make sure you have them. They need to be in there with your tools. Your tools are the things that help you do your job. Your medication is one of those. So if you're insulin dependent, for example, you need to make sure that you have a little bag in your bug out bag with some ice or whatever if you need be. Luckily, insulin is made differently now. You don't have to keep it refrigerated for all 30 days, or most of them, or the new ones anyway. So make sure you have your meds. Make sure you have some ibuprofen. Make sure you have, those basic meds that, if you're having a headache, you're gonna want. So, have your meds. Don't go overboard. Again, 2 days. Find out what your maximum dose is. Make yourself your your own little package. Label them real good. You just need 2 days. Just a 2-day bug out kit. You're not gonna have a migraine the entire 2 days, God willing. So number 9, medical bag and training. Okay, medical bags are going to be different for everybody. This is your first aid kit. For some of you, it's going to be Band-Aids and triple antibiotic ointment. That's it. Maybe a little gauze. I have pressure dressings in my bag. I know how to do tourniquets. I can do IVs. I can have that stuff. So the more training you have, the more advanced that medical bag can be. And think of that medical bag as your emergency kit if you're hurt, but it's also a way to build alliances. If you see somebody hurt and you have a medical bag, guess what? You can help them, you can barter, you can do some stuff. You have a skill. So teach yourself medical skills the right way. Not any of that crazy stuff. Just learn your pressure dressings, learn that kind of stuff, because those things are really important, and they're going to be important if the SHTF. So, medical bag, think about what you are capable of doing and what you can learn, and then create that bag off of that. Number 10, phone numbers. Have everybody's phone numbers written down on a piece of paper, a little cardstock or something, print them off. Put them in your bag somewhere, because your phone dies, the grids die, you may not be able to call anybody, and who knows. But You might be able to get to a landline, and maybe your cell phone towers are down in your area, but they're not down where you're calling. But then you don't have your cell phone because you don't have you just don't have your cell phone because your towers aren't working. Being able to get to a payphone and calling someone from out of town helps. So have the phone numbers of important people in your bag. See, you also want to have grid coordinates and pins if you know what that means. So if you have friends that have bug out locations that you are going to, or family that has bug out locations that you are going to, you should have their grid coordinates in your head. And don't put the actual grid coordinate to the place you were going. Put the grid coordinate to about 3 miles away, and then learn on your map where you put it in relation to where it needs to go. We can do overlays, but if somebody finds your bag, you don't want them to know where you're going because all the supplies and stuff are there. So be aware that you need to know how to do your grid coordinates and pins, it's simple as GPS pins. Problem is, if your phone doesn't work, it doesn't work. But here's a little hack for that. Here's a little hack for that. If you know where your bug out location is, and you can actually download all the maps, every month you can download all the maps, so you don't have to have internet access to use the maps. And then you just have to have your phone charged, and then you can use the GPS to use the maps. So it's a little hack, but I don't like to rely on phones because just so much can go wrong. Anyway, and number 11, a solar charger with a small inverter. So a small inverter is going to be something that you can plug into a battery and plug something in. So if you have a CPAP or something like that, you can plug it in. And like for me, I can just plug in my CPAP to my pickup truck. An inverter doesn't have to be expensive, but it can be invaluable, because if you have a CPAP, you obviously need to have some of that power so you can get a good night's sleep. Solar charger is important. You can charge your batteries, you can use the inverter, and you're going to have, if the phones are still working, you'll still have those. Because, a bug out bag could be used during a natural disaster. It doesn't have to be like the whole world came down. Maybe there's tornadoes and you have to go and you have to get 5 miles down the road to get help. That's it. And this helps because you can take a step, you can sit down, you can make a plan. And I know I missed a few things in here because there are things that I normally just carry with me all the time. And I'm sure there are things that you carry with you all the time and that you would not leave without. For example, my Bible's not on the list because it's going to be in my hand. But seriously, your bug out bag is 2 days of, oh crap, what happened? Let's make a plan. That's what your bug out bag is for. So if you disagree or you have some suggestions to add to your bag, those are my 11 items to put in your bug out bag and that are in mine. And I hope you enjoyed this. Until next time, work hard, be kind, and have fun.